And I remember Joel Dawn hired him, and I heard the story later. He asked Wardell, he said, well, what kind of keyboard do you need at the hotel room? And Wardell said, I don't need nothing. I just need this, and pulled out a tuning fork. And Joel Dawn said, well, what is that? And he says, that's all I need. That's Wardell. He can do more with less than anybody that ever did charts here. You know, his charts have always like helped records and songs and artists make a blend. It's like the things he did with Big Chief. There was a great arranger in New York, Slide Hampton. And Slide always, I played him the record, a Big Chief. I had no idea. And he says, man, he could have wrote for bass, he could have wrote for anybody. But this is some fresh, new music. And that's coming from a great arranger, too, and without even knowing Wardell. He never met him. But this is the kind of love people has amongst each another that appreciates what's did. And people don't know, like on the record of Big Chief by Professor Longhair, Wardell's brother played percussion on that with Smokey Johnson. I was very fortunate to play the guitar on that session, but Longhair didn't ever understand about a big horn section or any of that. And the whole session threw him a curvature of the mind. And he got up and left after the session was over. He figured he played. Nobody asked him to sing nothing. He was gone. And Earl King had to sing the song and whistle the part that was for Longhair to do. And it was just Cosmo's studio at the time couldn't handle all of everything because of mic situations, and that's just how things was in those days. Cosmo Mateus, who ran the studio, he was one of them rare guys too, like
Smokey Johnson, man, he's another one. Smokey Johnson was on that session with Doctor on the Big Chief. He played so hard that his thumb and forefinger was bleeding. He hit the drum so hard, and they had to patch his hand so it won't bleed on the sticks. Do you remember who played bass on that?
I was trying to think, but it was most of the Raw Dukes Rhythm Band, but it wasn't Otis DeVerney, and I know who it wasn't, but it was an upright bass player, but it wasn't a Mitchell, and it wasn't.
Who's that bass player that played with Dave? Played upright. That wasn't
Fields?
him. That wasn't him.
No, that wasn't Frank Fields.
No.
Nope.
See what I'm...
I could picture it. No, I was sitting right by him. That's why I really remember being a kid, but I can't remember which one it was. And it wasn't
It wasn't French.
No. It was an upright player that played like really tasty, like.
It wasn't Chuck.
No,
Bailey?
it wasn't Chuck, and it wasn't. It's easy to think of who it wasn't on that day. If we go through the list, we'd probably come up with who it was.
You sound like
me. It wasn't Eustace Gilliamy. It was. I'm trying to think now. Before.
Yeah, that's right. How you call? You must be from the 7th ward. How you call?
Man, Doc,
Heard
he's
that
from
in a
every
long time.
ward. Doc, you're right. But anyway, getting back to Professor Long here, when he played the piano, you can always tell what piano he played on because he had a habit of hitting the piano a leg with his leg, you know. And every time he played a piano, you knew it was him because he had splinters in the legs of the piano. I said, gee whiz, I said, man, I hope I never get him mad so he can kick me. Because he'll break a bone. And I remember that session that we had to tie his hand behind his back because he played the whole thing with his left hand. And I said, man, and that was the first time I met him. You know, he had me more frightened of him than he was of me.